Firstly, I want to express my solidarity with the people of Ukraine and condemn Russia's unprovoked and devastating attack on a peaceful nation 2 years ago. I would also like to acknowledge the people across Ireland who welcomed those fleeing the conflict into their communities and joined the call for a peaceful end to this horrific war. I would encourage Russia and Ukraine to come to the table and seek a peace agreement to put an end to the violence and the unnecessary deaths of thousands. I would like to highlight, however, the difference of response from Europe towards the invasion of Ukraine and the invasion of Gaza. The contrast is stark, and it is very clear that Europe does not speak with one voice on this issue. Although the EU has been extremely critical of Russia, and rightly so, they have failed time and time again to hold Israel to account for the many breaches of international law. As of today, over 29,000 Palestinians have been killed, including 11,500 children, with a further 17,000 children left unaccompanied because Israeli attacks have killed their entire families. While the EU sits on its hands and refuses to call for an immediate ceasefire or stop weapons sales to Israel. The Stockholm International Peace Research Institute provided data on arms sales from Europe to Israel between 2013 and 2022, showing Italy and Germany had supplied Israel's military with crucial weapons and equipment it is now using on the ground in Gaza.
Abominable happenings, but these statements are about Ukraine.
I'm comparing and contrasting the European response to what is happening in Ukraine and what is happening and I think that's perfectly legitimate to do that.
Fair enough.
And I think it's about the European response that we've had, and there's no doubt that the war in Ukraine is horrible and abominable, but also the war in Gaza is likewise the same. More recent reports, I've lost my place now. During this period, Italian companies sold arms worth almost 120 million to Israel, on average around €12 million per year. More recent reports show that German defence export approvals to Israel had risen nearly tenfold last year compared to the year before. This is appalling as well. European countries have directly funded the collective punishment of 2.3 million Palestinians in Gaza by the Israeli government, and Europe should hang its shame in relation to that. There is clearly a divide between the people and those in power. Citizens across Europe have shown time and time again that they condemn Israel's genocide of Palestinian people, yet their leaders refuse to act on this, while at the same time being very vocal on Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The EU and the US are the reason for this genocide has continued, and Ireland needs to take a stand. The government needs to advocate for the suspension of the EU-Israel Association Agreement on humanitarian grounds, and it needs to honour its commitment and the programme for government to formally recognise the State of Palestine. We need to advocate for the people of Palestine and for the people of Ukraine, who have been utterly failed by the international community across the board. Thank you.